Right, hello everybody and welcome to this week's episode of the Noob Journey. We're back for round 2 and this time we're driving around Singapore, the Marina Bay Street Circuit. So we were suspecting a dry start going on to a wet race. First a set of intermediates was going to be used, and then we were expecting to go on to full wet. So just so you know, what our strategy will be, well, our strategy will probably be rubbish, as we've shown last time. We went on to the intermediates far too late, and this week I think we nailed it, but I won't spoil anything. You can see it later on. Right, so we're just about ready to go out on the pits for our first flying lap, or for our out lap. But I'll cut straight towards the flying lap, as it is obviously far more interesting. Right, here we go, coming around the last corner up to the straight to start our flying lap. We passed the line, and here we go into turn 1, which is actually quite difficult, especially as it's raining during qualifying. We take it, well, quite cautious. Yeah, then down to second for the left-hander. Don't be too eager on the power or you might just end up in the wall on the left. Then absolutely floor it the moment you feel you've got grip. Brake, well, not as early as I did, but brake. Down to third. Right-hander, normally here you open DRS, but obviously as it is raining and we're on intermediates, there is no DRS, so that's going to affect lap times as well. So here you can go up into 8th, then down to 3rd. As I said, the best sector at sector 1, but I was one of the first to go out, so hey, but still, I mean, it's purple. Then down to 2nd for this tight right-hander. Try not to clip the wall and don't get on the power too early, as it is quite squirmy, as you can see. Then down to 3rd or 2nd, but I prefer to take it in 3rd. Put your foot down the moment you see the yellow line, the yellow-brown line. Brake at 100 meters. Down to 3rd for this tricky left-hander and then the right-hander combo. I always go down to 2nd there. Might be faster, or might not. I mean, I'm not the fastest around. Take this bit, then brake for the 180 or for the hairpin. I completely balls that up, but so does overrated llama. I hope, as he's ahead of me and I'm on my flying lap, that he doesn't affect my time. But we'll see, as there's a yellow flag in the following sector. We brake nicely, quite cautiously, drop down to 2nd anyway, because I thought taking it third, but that didn't work. Up to 4th, 5th, and then immediately slow down 3rd or 2nd, as Matt is in the wall. Ooh, alright, I may have needed a change of pants there, as Matt was looking like he was going to come back onto the track. Overrated llama clips the wall. Here you can really lose your wheel if you clip it just a bit too hard, as llama is all over the place. Mortal Chemical is just a run off track completely. I try to overtake overrated llama, but he just glitches right in front of me, but I'm like, alright, fair enough, let me just do my own lap. Down to 4th, last corner, see where we finish, and it's P1. We got the fastest lap for about 10 seconds, and then we drop down to P4 as Corrigan put in the fastest lap, and now it's Reese. So here we go, DRS was being enabled. It went dry for the rest of the qualifying, so we managed to put in a lap on the ultra soft tires. Obviously that's why I dropped down a lot, because my best time was still in intermediates. But yeah, pretty much the same. The only difference is you can brake a lot later now. You actually got DRS as well, because it stopped raining. As Briggsy now puts in the fastest lap, 1:48, which is about 20 seconds faster than I did on the intermediates. But I'm also 5 seconds up on my previous time. Down to 3rd. Don't get on the power too early. Callum sets a 1:46, nice time. Take this corner in 2nd, a slight corner cut there maybe. Take this one in 3rd. Die Hard 1:45. The lap times are dropping, I mean, and I'm still there with my 2:8. Ugh. Right, take this corner in 3rd. Grip is really great on these tires. Then down to 2nd for this tricky right-hander. Go all the way to the left, and then don't turn in too soon on the 50-meter wall, as you can see, as that wall is really tricky. Take this corner in 2nd. Put your foot down as hard as you can, as fast as you can. Then get some speed. As Tig just puts in a blistering 1:44, but we're used to it. I mean, Tig is quite fast. We completely balls up this corner, so does Factual. Well, we may have lost some time there, but we're still 11 seconds up on our previous time. Down to 3rd for this bit. We actually keep it in 3rd, 2nd on intermediates. 3rd, as close to the Fly Emirates sign as you dare. And slow down for the tunnel. Try not to clip the wall, either the inside or the outside wall. Just slight corner cut there, but I didn't get a warning for it. Down to third through the DHL sector. Oh well, DHL signs. I should have taken a bit of the curves there, but down to fifth. Get ready to open DRS. We come across the line, and we're still in sixth, but we put in a 151, which is only 7 seconds behind T Quick. As you can see, he put in a 144 on Super Softs. Then it's Die Hard. Callum W in third on the Ultra Softs. Briggsy fourth, also on the Ultras. Corrigan with a great lap in fifth on the Super Softs. Then it's Reese in sixth on the Ultras. Myself in seventh. Jamie eighth. Overrated. Lama ninth. Great positioning for him. 10th for Pepsi. My teammate Ben with a lot of 6s and 5s in 11th. And then Cause LFC, who didn't crash out this session, I think, managed to grab that P12. Right, here we go, formation lap. As I said before, formation lap is important that you can, you know, warm up your tires. Everyone boot. Oh god, it's all gone horribly wrong. Oh god. Right, I was gonna say warm up your tires nicely, but just some people just blast off and then you just, well, get punted up the arse or whatever. But right, here we go. 5 red lights. We're off for hopefully a good start of this Grand Prix of Singapore. We actually get quite a decent start. Reese gets a really good start. We only lose 1 position to Jamie 183, but we take this corner actually quite well, quite cautiously. Oh, as there's a bit of contact to my left, but I get an illegal overtake. But I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna give it back because he was so far back. Jamie 183. He was actually backwards, so I don't know why I got an illegal overtake. But I'm like, yeah, let's just get this stop and go penalty. We get a really good run here on Reese. We managed to go side by side. As you can see there, we get the 5-second stop go penalty. But I was like, yeah, let's just take it. Oh, I'm sorry for sniffing. I'm really ill. But anyway, further into lap 1, take the corners nicely. As you can see, there's a big difference between me and Corrigan. Corrigan's got a lot more pace. But I mean, I am average Ken. I managed to keep it out of the wall like on street circuits. So I mean, if you finish in these races, most of the times you finish well, you actually get points. So that's also my goal for this race. You know, finish and grab some points and get this race over with. Like Singapore, Monaco, you just have to pray that you keep it out of the wall and be happy with all the points that you can get. Right, other people are a lot faster than through this sector. As I got overrated Llama behind me. Sorry about that. As I said, I'm quite ill. As Gods Among Us retires, there's already a big gap between me and Corrigan, but I managed to keep Llama behind me. I don't know who's behind him, but oh, there, my teammate just rolling into that sector. As we ruin our apex here quite badly, so that that allows overrated Llama to catch up. But still, you know, as you can see, Corrigan's on a harder set of tyres. He's on the Super Softs, and I just can't catch him. He's got a lot more pace than I do. But I mean, as I said before, I just want to finish this race. So we come up to the end of the first lap. T Quick already puts in the fastest lap. I mean, obviously, as he left on pole, we completely balls this up. But still, we come across the line in 1:59, which isn't that bad. But you can see on the mini-map as well, the first 5 people are just steaming off, and then it's me. Right. On to lap 4 now. We've got Matt 202 Gaming YouTube, well, YT YouTube behind us. As we clipped the wall, minor wing damage. Could have easily lost a wheel there. But he's behind us in 8th on a set of soft tires, and he's actually catching me. He's got really good pace. But the rain was starting to come down. As you can see, I switch onto intermediates. Or I select the intermediates, and I'm coming in now. This pit entry is just, I take it at about 3 miles an hour as Matt overtakes me on the soft. He will regret that move because conditions only got worse after this. So it was definitely intermediate time. As you can see, more pit crews are getting ready to accept their drivers. Here we go. I got the 5-second stop go penalty. This is always a pretty view because you're just sitting there doing nothing. And there we go on a set of intermediates. I purposely selected not to change my front wing as it would set me back a lot more than it will now, as it is on a reduced damage. As my teammate comes in as well for a set of intermediates, and T Quickshare retires. That's unlucky for him, but I mean, it's Singapore, Monaco. You can just be out at, you know, like lose concentration for a millisecond and you could be out of the race. But now we go into intermediate. Lap 5 as Mortar Chemical also retires. And who else is coming? Oh, Matt 212 Gaming is coming in for a set of intermediates, so we actually caught up to him quite well. As you can see on his YouTube channel, he also uploaded his POV. It was actually a really difficult lap. the lap that he stayed out on softs. But I mean, I think we did a good call going on to intermediates on lap 4, lap 5. I even can't remember. So now ahead of us we've got Briggsy and Matt212 behind us, and we're in P6 as Overrated Llama retires. I mean, some things in life are still a certainty. But yeah, we're a bit in no man's land at the moment. Briggsy's a bit too far ahead of us, and Matt212 is behind us. He will catch us, I can tell you that already, because he's got really good pace. But we cut forward onto lap 9 now as my teammate comes into the pits again. No idea why, because he's already got intermediates on. So as you can see, Matt is catching us well, quite fast. We're down to 9 races only, as we overtake Pepsi, who's gone on to full wets, and I doubted to go on to full wets this lap or stay on another lap. So I decided to come in on lap 10, which one I'm doing now. So I overtook Pepsi because he was in the pits. Matt212 actually, as you can see on the standings, overtook me in this lap because I was just all over the place. So I was like, yeah, come on, let's go on to full wets, as I'm doing now. And I hope the track is wet enough, but it probably will be. I mean, the difference between full wets and intermediates is not that big. No stop and go penalty this time, so a really good pit stop of just over 2 seconds. And who's coming up on the straight? It's Respawn who's going to overtake us. Yeah, but he stays out on intermediates. I don't know if he's going to stay out for the remaining 4 laps, or if he's going to come in next lap. Pepsi Max overtakes us as well. I mean, he was ahead of us, we only overtook him in the pits last time. Now we cut forward to lap 14. Basically really nothing happened in between lap 11 and lap 14. We're back into P6 now, where not where we belong, that would be cocky, but just, you know, where we feel happy, like in the mid pack. We've got our teammate ahead of us, as you can see on the minimap, but we are about to lap him as Diehard comes across the line just as we go on to lap 15. I mean, we were almost being lapped by Diehard. His pace was really good in this race. I think T Quickchef finished second, but you will see at the end at the results. Yeah, so I'm catching my teammate quite a lot. He was struggling a bit around Singapore, but you know, if you finish, you're going to finish well. I think he's in P7 or P8, so he will grab some points if he just manages to keep it out of the wall. So we're coming up to him now. He moves out of the way really nicely. Well done, as we almost lose the back end. And who's ahead of us? It's Pepsi. I don't think we're going to catch Pepsi, as he has a lot of better pace than me. But I mean, him in P5, which is really good. Me in P6, I'm really happy with that. So we're just gonna take you along now for the last lap. Someone's come on. Oh, is that Pepsi who made a mistake? We might as well grab an extra few points if we manage to take him. But I'm not sure. Yeah, well, it was Pepsi who made a mistake, but I think he's still quite ahead of me. But yeah, so P6, I am happy with P6. Any points I can get in this new journey, especially with Teak and Diehard just leading the pack, and then Pepsi and Reese. Oh, as my teammate just retired. I literally just said, you know, if you're gonna finish, you're gonna finish with some points. So this is not good for constructors, as Ben didn't bring any points in today. But I mean, there's always next week. So, but like I said, you know, Diehard, T-Quick, Respawn, Corrigan, Briggsy, and even Pepsi are just way ahead of me in terms of pace. But I am consistent in the wet and on the dry. I mean, I managed to keep it out of the wall like 9 out of 10 times. So I hope to pick up some points here and there on this calendar, and then just finish like anywhere between P5 and P10. I'll be happy with that. But who's behind us? Reese is actually catching us. We're catching Pepsi. I mean, if it would have been another lap, maybe I would have caught him. But to be fair, I was happy that this race was finished, because it wasn't really the most interesting race because of the weather and also because of the track. So we come up to the line, P6, as there's only 7 people remaining now. But we're actually happy that we crossed the line, because the race, you know, in the wet on a street circuit is always quite difficult. It asks a lot of you. But yeah, so this is the... Oh, no, wait. I said T Quickshare second, but obviously he crashed out. It's a Diehard in first, Corrigan in second, then Briggsy third. So a double Renault on the podium, sorry. Then we got Matt212 Gaming, one of the new noobs, in the Ferrari in P4, Pepsi in P5, myself in the Red Bull P6, Reese 7th, Ben, my teammate, in 8th, but he didn't finish. But he's still going to get some points as he finished 75% of the race. I think the same goes for Callum, sorry. I'm sorry. And Buttius finishes up the top 10. Overrated Llama, T-Quickshare, DNFs. So yeah, that was this week's race around Singapore. It's the first time this season I'm actually doing a voice commentary. It's not the best because I'm ill, and also, you know, the race wasn't that interesting in terms of overtakes or crashes or whatever. But yeah, P6, I hope you enjoyed my POV of this race, and well, we'll be back next week with another race of the Noob journey, round 3. Take care, bye bye.